ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk, welcome everybody to the Dead Film Critics Society podcast. As always, I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Aiden Billing.
Extra beautiful today. You see the eyeliner? I haven't got it all off from my line out a couple days ago. Yeah,
Nice,
man.
nice.
Fucking hell.
And we are going to be talking about some Spider-Verse, some Spider-Man women, also non-binary, and all the things.
Animals.
Everything
Can't forget
in
the
between.
animals. Yes, exactly.
Lots of spider people and spider animals. So we'll be doing that today. But in the meantime, Aiden, what news do we got from?
Okay, well, the
world
biggest
world?
piece of news that I have, Tenoch Huerta, I think that's how you say his name. The actor who plays Namor in Wakanda Forever, has recently been accused of sexual misconduct by a cellist of all people. That's quite a random one, but Marvel's starting to fall apart here, man. I think.
Yeah. I just saw that.
It's really depressing.
It is. I actually don't know what happens with the character because I haven't seen Wakanda Forever still.
He doesn't die. Like, there's
Okay,
room
so
for him
he's
to come
still out
back.
there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's unfortunate. You know, you hate
Yeah.
to hear about more things like this, even though we know they're out there constantly, and it almost seems like a matter of time for a lot of these actors just to get exposed for the shitty things that they did. But of course, they're on varying degrees of shittiness, obviously. And who
Yes.
knows if, this is gonna. It's obviously really terrible PR for Marvel at this point. I don't know if. Yeah, I mean, you think Disney, I'm assuming this happened after they hired him, because I'd assume Disney, of all people, being how much of a stickler they are, would run these very thorough PR checks, kind of like probably send private investigators to make sure that the actors they hire don't have stuff like this. So that way, when they, because especially at this point, being that Marvel, was always kind of has been a lot about the characters, and obviously these actors have grown a lot with them. Obviously Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans wouldn't have the fame they have today without being Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Yep.
But it also seems like they have a balance where they're not going just for star power, because again it is about the Marvel characters, but they also want some of it. And it seems at this I don't know. It seems at this point, I feel like if I were Disney, I'd be going for actors who I know I've done thorough checks on for these roles and haven't done anything like that. But then again, maybe that's not the case with this one. Could have easily done it after they've been cast and set and filmed the movie and everything. And people obviously can make bad decisions, and also a sense of power probably inflates their ego to do this. We've, I think, seen this multiple times.
Yeah.
And to try to get away with it. And
that is true.
I don't know if the Marvel role is partly responsible for this actor's inflated sense of ego that maybe led him to this. We have no idea. That's the other thing with all these cases. We have very rarely get that much context.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know if this one's actually true, but the fact that he's even been accused. It is worrying, right? So we're not trying to slander his name. It's just what we've heard, what we've seen in the news. I want to make that very clear. But if it is true, then my God, I think the MCU is really it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because there's already calls to recast Jonathan Majors as well, because he didn't sexually assault someone, but he did assault a woman, physically. So man got a little bit into character for Creed 3, I guess. I don't know.
Who knows? It's hard to say overall.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's unfortunate overall, I think, as a Marvel fan to see, because I think overall, if you're strictly looking as a Marvel fan, which you really shouldn't, because obviously these are very serious issues and serious allegations with these actors, but also just as a MCU fan for a second, to see that, again, Kevin Feige and this whole crew is all these producers are going to really have to scramble, I think, because I don't know, Disney just seems to be making the wrong decisions to sustain themselves long term, honestly. I don't know, it seems like after the pandemic, a lot of these studios, especially Disney and Warner Brothers, have seemed to be kind of panicking over their lack of profitability, which obviously, is important for business, but I think they're also missing a lot of the times what is going to make them sustainable long term.
Yeah.
And they keep making decisions that are going away from it. I don't know if you heard, this kind of leads me to a new piece of news for the Pixar layoffs. I don't know if you saw those, including...
I heard about one. Yeah, the lady who saved Toy Story 2 got laid off. That's quite crazy.
It seems like it was the team that led Lightyear was a big portion of those cutoffs. And
I mean, fair enough.
Like, Lightyear was not so bad that I think anyone should get fired, personally.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't necessary.
A bomb,
we didn't need that movie.
Yeah, and that's like kind of, I think, Disney's fault, or whoever greenlit the movie. Whoever's like, it might have been Pete Docter's fault, for being honest. I don't know who said you need to make a Lightyear movie. Whether it was probably an executive, if we're being honest. I don't think even Pete Docter would want to make a Lightyear movie. And not that I'm saying he's perfect or anything, but I think, he's behind things like Up and Soul, and has helped with Pixar since the beginning. I have enough faith in him that I think he wouldn't really make decisions like that, but you never know. And the future of the Disney brand, in the movies especially, is looking more dim overall, I'd say.
I mean, I heard that Elemental, as a Pixar movie, hasn't been doing so well. I believe it's Pixar's only second Rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's hovering around that, because it's you need a 60 to get.
I think it's 59, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check it. What's Elemental score? Oh, stop it, autocorrect. Alright, let's see. Reception. Oh, actually, sorry, it's gone up since then. Wait, that can't be right. 72%. Last time I checked, it was 57. Let me just double check.
That could be right. It has been seen by more critics, which I think overall probably would result in a higher score. It kind of has been. It premiered. The fascinating thing about Disney and their summer movies is they premiered both of their big ones at Cannes with both Indiana Jones and.
Oh yeah, 72%. Sorry, it's gone up since then. My mistake.
Elemental, and both of those did not do well critically, which I think has killed a lot of the buzz for both of them.
Oh yeah, I think.
Even the trailers and stuff, like just from my personal anecdotes, anyone I've really asked about Elemental has, they just said they didn't think it looked that good, And to some extent, that's discouraging, because even if Elemental's like, only an okay movie, to see that movie potentially bomb as it's, I think, kind of projected to be at this point, is disappointing, considering it's still an original movie, and while it may not have original ideas that are enticing a lot of people, I personally think it's a lot more creative, fulfilling to the Disney brand than just Little Mermaid remakes. Not that that's a bad movie. I've heard a lot.
I think the Little Mermaid movie did pretty good at the box office. I can check that for you right now. Actually,
pretty well. I've heard, keeping up with my box office reports and news, I don't think it's like in the range where it actually might turn a profit necessarily in the theatrical window. I think it's still, but it's made a good amount of money overall.
It's made $369 million. Nice. Okay. But off a budget of $250 million. So yeah,
exactly. And then obviously PR and costs and everything after that. So
it is interesting though, because do you remember the time? That the Lion King remake made $1.6 billion?
Yeah,
that was insane.
And
even the Beauty and the Beast remake made $1 billion. Like, they've all done pretty well.
Yeah,
despite their quality.
And I don't know. I don't know. It's weird to see. There has been also news circulating about how the movie kind of bombed in China and South Korea. People labeling it because of, their recasting of The Little Mermaid. And I don't know how thorough those searches are. I always I tend to distrust Western media when it comes to reports about China in general. I usually don't think they know what the hell they're talking about. And it's true that I think overall that Chinese audiences are more avert to black um, protagonists overall, and there probably were a percentage of the population that was upset that they changed the character, only because I think, especially in Chinese culture and generally Eastern culture, you don't really change like fairy tales and myths, right? You don't mess with that kind of stuff. You don't mess with tradition, and so that kind of change, whether no matter what they did, I think they would have been put off by it. I also think they just aren't familiar with black people nearly as much. There's over 1 billion people in that country, and I don't know how many black people live in China. I imagine it's a very, very small percentage of the population.
Checking that for you right now, sir.
Okay,
hold on.
Thanks.
How many black people in China? I'm actually curious about this because I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, but obviously in Western, some people make that same argument in Western media sometimes, which is a little more nonsensical overall, considering I'd think in the vast majority of areas across North America there is a black population, especially in the urban areas, and to say that they aren't represented in your communities and in the communities across North America would be either very ignorant or very rural. And obviously the rural world should be knowing that, obviously there's a lot of people who live in cities, and there's usually more diversity in those cities. It's something that seems a lot more rural, especially conservative people aren't very aware of.
I mean, even here in Canada, it's kind of like that.
Ignorant of, they just aren't as familiar with them, which obviously, can lead to other problems besides, box office aversion. But
that is true.
In this case, it is very silly overall just to be upset and not see a movie because they changed the race of a mermaid. It's ridiculous.
John Boyega made a good point about this.
Personally, I really don't care. There's and then there's obviously people arguing the other way. It's like, oh, what if you made a black historical figure white? No one would like that. And besides all the historical equity issues behind that, I mean, it's also, with those and there's not very many examples of that at all. There's no of historical figures of, we're already, I think especially minorities in North America are still building their own stories overall. And so those figures who are big enough to have made a movie about them, obviously those are going to go to, but also these are stories that have already been told with white people, white faces in the example of the Little Mermaid, and so I don't see really any problem with them changing that. There's so many of those stories have been done over and over again. If you look at even the changes, people complained about, I think, Queen Charlotte or something, that new Shonda Rhimes show, and people are
but the difference is though
so many
that's not trying to be
dramas.
It's not trying to be historically accurate though. That's the difference. It's not trying to be historically accurate. It's just trying to fuck around and entertain, And I mean, I think that's fine. The one problem I have though is the Cleopatra documentary, because that's just rewriting history and it's blatantly false.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. The thing is, I don't think
Cleopatra was not black. She was Greek Macedonian. All right, she may have had darker skin. That part is definitely sure, but that does not mean she was African. Okay, that's insane. People got to calm down a bit there.
Yeah, but again, I don't think something like that would get nearly as much PR if people were, just. I
mean, it was getting PR, but just for all the wrong reasons,
exactly. And honestly, to me, at that point, it feels like a publicity stunt by Netflix. They're like, oh, if we do a controversial casting for this mini show, documentary about Cleopatra, then maybe some people will get pissed and hate watch the thing. It's the same route, it's why HBO ran The Idol. It's why they probably let Sam Levinson do whatever, because they know his name sparks interest, good or bad. And, we'll get people's attention, we'll get people talking, even if it's him being called a misogynist pig, which at this point, I think he's just kind of embraced that, to some extent, because, he's still not getting canceled, and I don't think the
No.
kind of backlash he's getting is one that will stop him, because again, they're overall feeding enough success into his show. We'll have to see what happens in future weeks. I mean, people were complaining that, saying, oh, look how low the Idols numbers were. It was like just under 1 million, but the Euphoria pilot had like 1.1 million. It also did not nearly have as much bad PR. So we'll have to see. Obviously, you could say The Weeknd is obviously a big draw that should be boosting those numbers, but who knows?
Yeah. Actually, somebody brought up a good point the other day. It is interesting because Sam Levinson, some of the women he's casted so far in his shows that he sexualizes the most, like actually kind of look like his mom. Like Sydney Sweeney and Lily Rose Depp, they kind of have the same like vibe as a younger version of his mom, and I did find that a bit interesting. And people are saying you might have some unresolved issues there.
I don't like to psychoanalyze people based on...
Of course not. I'm not a fucking doctor. I just did think it was because they're kind of not wrong. Because his mom does kind of look a bit like Sydney Sweeney and Lily Rose Depp.
Look, I think
it is really funny.
To some extent, if you psychoanalyze any director, you'll probably find them perverted. If I'm being honest, that's what David Fincher basically said. He basically just thinks everyone are perverts. Everyone, at some point, if you put them in the right situation, will just enjoy being a voyeuristic eye watching stuff. And I think Sam takes advantage of that to a, let's say, liberal extent when it comes to straight men. And so, therefore, but then it also brings up the kind of, I don't know, attention of the masses overall. Enough to where his show is getting eyeballs. And, yeah, that's kind of just how he works. I mean, personally, as long as... I think my kind of hot take is that it's art. At the end of the day, it is a piece of fiction. And as long as the real people are consenting to it, I feel safe in their environment, which, everything in the people are only complaining about the content of the show, but that's fiction. Yeah. No one has there was that whole controversy about the change, and I don't remember all the exact details from that Rolling Stone article, but it also was interesting to me how no one else reported that. Like, no one else was taking that Rolling Stone article and basically reproducing it that much. They were only reporting it how the Rolling Stone did this, which makes me think that they're just, there was probably some combination of, they took the show in a more less feminist direction, which, is probably unfortunate at the end of the day. But there was also the fact that they were just fired, and that sucks just to lose a job. And, there's a lot of understandable anger from that, especially when they're turning your product into something that you didn't think it should be. And that's probably why that came out. But at the end of the day, I think the show, independent of itself as it is right now, isn't problematic as a production, and people only really have a problem with the content. And at that point, it just kind of reflects on you. Like, it's perfectly healthy to think those things are disgusting. It's fine. But to some extent, I think everyone who's watching it are adults. They should be adults and can make up for their minds what they're watching. And to some extent, I'm thinking he might literally just be making satire, and he just doesn't want to tell people, and he's kind of having fun with, because, if he tells everyone it's satire, either everyone's just going to call it bad satire, or everyone's going to be like, oh, you're self-aware, this isn't fun anymore,
Yeah.
And so he's kind of, found this in-between space. I'm not saying it's the best show in the world at all. It's not great. I did watch
it tanked your bloody Metacritic scores for sure.
It did. Oh, it definitely tanked my Metacritic score. Yeah. I was not ready for that. But, and I can see why overall, but I honestly don't think it's bad. I think it's interesting as a piece of work, and I'm, as much as I don't really encourage sex and unnecessary nudity in
I do
movie and
Kidding.
TV, I discourage it overall. I wouldn't say it's entirely unnecessary to the story he's trying to tell right now. Yeah, I had that complaints about Euphoria season 2 for sure. I think he just went way too over the top. But this story kind of makes sense. And also, people saying that, oh, this female character would never exist in any universe. I gotta say, there's probably a female character who would be like this more over-sexualized woman, and vice versa. It happened.
I mean, they were doing that with a lot of pop stars in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
and even to today to some extent, So, I mean, like, it's not that far-fetched in that regard,
Yeah.
I can't say for the rest of the show, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
so.
And I don't know what the rest of the show is going to look like, but I don't know.
I mean, it's probably going to look fantastic, like all of Sam Levinson's
To say that
products.
Sam Levinson is he's getting more flack than a lot of like actual criminal potential and also potentially criminal people in the industry. I think that's a bit unfair, but I don't know. Then again, he kind of, he shot himself with the foot. If he ever was trying to avoid these kind of tweets and headlines, he fucked up. But I'm pretty sure he knew this kind of stuff was coming, and we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't think this is going to be good for his reputation as a whole. At the end
May
of the
not
day,
be, no.
But he's still going to make Euphoria season 3, and I think that will be more of a deal breaker than this.
Probably. Yeah, man. Damn. Alrighty.
A lot of stuff.
Also, to go back to your earlier point, there's one city in China with significant African population, and that's Guangzhou. They have like 13,000 African people living there. Yeah,
how big is the population of Guangzhou, though?
Probably pretty big. Just let me... I think it's well over 1 million. I know that for a fact. Okay. Hold on. Guangzhou. And if I'm not saying that name right, please forgive me. I'm trying my best. Mandarin is a hard language. Okay. Where's the population? Oh, yeah, 18 million. That's not a lot compared to the population of the city. Holy shit. Oh my god. The metropolitan area is 65 million.
That's China for you, bro. There's so much.
Dude, that's bigger than Canada. What the fuck?
Yeah. Dude, China is like China is like Europe itself, basically. It has several countries, and everything changes if you drive or travel so many miles.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I think my point remains, like, people also pointing out the Black Panther poster and how it, like, in the Chinese poster it had him had the mask on. I think they did that thing with the first Spider-Verse movie. People also pointing to how the Spider-Verse movie was doing well.
Yeah.
And and I think that's probably because, to some extent, they're already familiar with Miles Morales.
Yeah, of course.
Movie. I think they did the same thing with some of the Force Awakens posters. The ones with John Boyega with the lightsaber. They did not roll any of those out there. They just had, pretty sure it was pretty much the entire rest of the cast on the posters except for John Boyega. Yeah,
so,
and not that white people are extensively higher amount of the population, but I think the fact is that even China, to some extent, has gotten the Hollywood Western influence, and obviously that Hollywood Western influence is largely white, and so therefore they are more familiar with white people in media.
I don't even think it's just that, though, because in a lot of Asian countries, I know because I have friends who are like Filipino, for example, they've talked to me about how in their country, I know it's not the same culture as China, I'm making a comparison, but in their country, there's like products that you can use to like whiten your skin because darker skinned people are seen as like kind of inferior. And in China, to some extent, that's kind of the same thing. Like in history, there like darker skinned people were seen to be working out in the fields more, right? And they were hard at work as they were lower class in society. And the lighter skinned people were inside more, doing more leisure activities, right?
Yeah.
So it's the status thing.
Yeah, that is, and that's just a fact of culture. Yeah, that's always just I was gonna
facts,
say
bro.
It's just a culture thing.
Yeah,
it's just
history lesson for you there.
Biological.
Thank you, Miss Meyer. Yeah. Shout out Miss Meyer, man. We love her. I mean, I love her. I don't know about you, but
no, she was good. She was good.
Yeah, good teacher. Anyways, do you have any other news you want to talk about? I might have one other piece.
They're doing another season of The Crown, and apparently it's going to have 4 different versions of Queen Elizabeth being played at different stages of her life with all the actors who played her. And I don't know if was that in the first season? Viola Pettyjohn? Oh my goodness. Are you seeing this?
Oh, the stuff on your screen? Yeah. It happened earlier too. I thought it was just on my end, but no. It's like, man. Okay, it's stopped now.
Yeah, but you were seeing the
That was
glitching,
weird.
right?
Yeah, I was seeing the
Yeah,
glitching.
I was in the. Maybe I'm in the wrong multiverse.
Oh, dude. I
Oh, now
think
I'm
you might
frozen.
be. Oh, yeah. You're making a cool face. Let me get a picture of that, actually. I'm pulling out my camera just to take a picture of this. Let me take the picture. What the fuck? Oh, wait. I don't have a fucking card in. That's why.
Oh,
Okay.
well.
Damn it. Get it.
But yeah, new season of The Crown with all the people who played Queen Elizabeth. Disney is probably gonna pull more shows and movies. They've submitted what's called a content impairment charge. I have no idea what that is, but basically a tax write-off of some kind.
Yeah.
Or just like a business change in the about $400 million. So it says about 20 to shows plus and movies will be gone probably.
Got the picture. There we go.
Work and plans for the Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel are coming soon, but of course that is also being delayed, as are a lot of
By the
things
writer's strike.
by
Yeah.
the writer's strike.
Dude, maybe this is our chance to get in there, make our own content, and sell it to
Maybe.
Netflix. Yeah.
Several crew members were injured on the set of Gladiator 2,
Oh.
which is not great. They've all been treated and are experiencing non-life-threatening injuries, luckily.
What happened there?
It does not say. I don't know. I'd have to look at the source. I don't know if there's probably going to be. I'm sure they don't want to break down the exact details, both for, the part of the movie and for the, especially if there was like a negligence on the part of the crew as a whole. They don't really want to. Apparently, burn injuries.
Oh my goodness.
Burn injuries. So I'm guessing they were using practical fire and something went wrong.
Dude, you're still frozen on my end, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how we fixed that. Do you need to like? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
There we go. Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17 test screen had
I heard about
positive reactions so far.
Yeah.
So, still remains a highly anticipated movie for me. Very much looking forward to it.
That's his first feature film since Parasite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I can understand why he'd want to take a while off after that. I mean, fuck, he's earned it. But fuck, I cannot wait to see his next film. It's gonna be great.
He's also been doing a lot of writing. I think he's also probably, I think they were trying to do a Parasite project with Adam McKay. Something tells me that probably fell out.
Oh wait, no, I heard they were thinking about doing a Parasite, but like an English language adaptation. I just want to say, please don't. I swear to God, I will not be watching it. There's no point. The original's perfect. Just leave it. Leave it alone.
They explored the idea, did some early talks, maybe some early pre-production, and then realized it probably wasn't going to work. Or who knows? Maybe it'll end up popping up later.
Yeah. So same thing with that Train to Busan English remake. They better not go through with that, because if so, get me stupid.
I'll just say two more things.
Sure.
Illumination and Legend of Zelda are closing a deal to potentially make a movie.
Oh my God, the Super Smash Bros. Movie is one step closer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see if they're gonna actually make that happen. And then Poor Things had a new trailer out, which I think looks very good. Very interested in that.
Nice.
So yeah.
What the hell's Poor Things though?
New Yorgos Lanthimos movie with.
Wait, is he the guy who did The Lobster?
He did The Lobster.
I'm probably not gonna like this movie then.
Favorite. Have you seen The Favorite?
I haven't seen The Favorite. Actually, that's true. I'm not sure. I like The Lobster, but like I didn't. That's not the movie I was thinking of. It was Killing of a Sacred Deer. That's the one I didn't like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one I really like, and you did not like.
Yeah.
Most split movies.
Oh, like that, and there was also Mother as well.
There. That's the one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, here, I think I need to check with my parents real quick, and I'll be back. I think they were saying.
Yeah,
something.
you're good. Whew.
Hello. All right. Okay. Just grabbing some lunch quickly, but hello.
Did you just get lunch?
Yeah, quickly. Yeah.
Nice. That's great, man. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like the last time we recorded as well. I had like food delivered to me, and I was just eating. That's what we were talking about the film. So yeah, this is a nice change of pace. Usually I'm the one doing that. Anyways, do you have any more news, or should we just get right into
No,
Spider-Verse?
yeah. I was gonna say, even though we were mentioning movies like Mother and The Killing of a Sacred Deer that kind of split us, I don't think we're gonna be very split on the movie we're gonna be talking about today.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Then we're gonna say it was horrible, right?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Oh man.
Directed by 3 different people.
Yes.
Powers, Joaquin DeSantos, and Justin K. Thompson. This is written by Dave Callum, who's most known probably for Shang-Chi at this point, and also Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Yes.
And yeah.
Are we gonna do spoilers here? Should we
just get into? I guess. Should we just go right into spoilers?
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean we can just give a quick rundown of the film first, but maybe we should just say spoilers.
Yeah, sure.
Spoilers. Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, click off now and then come back to the end to see how much I've been wiping the floor with him in the Metacritic battle. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I've said to pick it, it's okay. Don't worry, man.
Yeah. So, I think how long ago from the second one is this even supposed to take place?
It says 1.5 years on Wikipedia. I checked.
Okay. But so this movie starts off with Gwen's story, but after we get more about what Gwen's life has been like, we see her encounter the Spider-Man Strike Team, or whatever you want to call it, led by Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara, voiced by the Oscar Isaac.
Yes, my God, both men are so fine. The animated version and the real Oscar Isaac. Jesus Christ! Also, can we talk about this man's lats for a second? Guy has an insane back. That's gonna be my goal for the summer. Now that's crazy. But yeah. Also, they were fighting a paper mache vulture. We should also mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they fight a paper mache vulture in the Guggenheim.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and so, and meanwhile, there's a lot to this movie. It's kind of hard to kind of just do a premise for it because being a multiverse movie, there are like always almost 2 working storylines, and they always like kind of meet and split off again, and goes all over the place. But Miles is dealing with some trouble trying to balance his life as Spider-Man and life as a kid, as a student, as a son. And when he encounters who he thinks is a villain of the week, the Spot, who's voiced by Jason Schwartzman, actually, which I didn't know. I didn't realize afterwards, which was like, nice.
Nice little tidbit.
Enjoyed that.
Very cool.
He becomes a more menacing threat who ends up threatening the multiverse. But as we learn later, this is definitely a spoiler, Miles ends up potentially being a threat to the multiverse.
Yeah. No, that was actually crazy. Like I'm gonna skip ahead a bit because he actually wasn't supposed to become Spider-Man in his universe because the Spider came from a different universe that was going to turn another version of him into Spider-Man. So their lives kind of flipped. Miles was supposed to be the Prowler in his universe. The other Miles ended up becoming the Prowler instead, and that was how the movie ends up being left off. Like he's been trapped by himself and his uncle. And in that universe, his dad died instead of his uncle, so they're kind of working together and doing a life of crime. Very fun. Look at that.
Yeah, and
I
don't know. I think easily what cannot be not said about this movie is the animation.
Oh yeah, perfect. It's
And
perfect. Like in every way.
amazing.
Use
It's
this.
truly
So many different art styles, and they're all done to
Yeah.
perfection. It's crazy.
Yeah, truly, you know. And I love Studio Ghibli, but this is also like it is the best looking animated movie of this, especially of this kind for sure.
Yeah.
Debatably of any kind.
Yeah.
The way they've combining 2D, 3D, all these different animation styles, both to appear both computer and drawn, and that Spider-Man, like that new texture that they added and have used through Spider-Verse and Mitchell's Machines, just adding on to that and almost like creating stills that look like paintings to some extent, like drawings, and you can really feel the artistry behind it, especially in Gwen's universe. I especially felt that it was very painted like world, and I enjoyed how they're leaning into that multiverse idea where every world is kind of animated differently, allowing them to just really go ham on expressing, using expressionism, like using the world around these characters kind of, especially for Gwen's universe. I think this is where they use it the best, again, to express how the character's feeling, and kind of that emotional state in a way that I don't think the story always provides as much personally. That, it felt very fast. I'll say the pacing was good, but it also felt very fast. I think it might have felt too fast in some moments personally. But, yeah, I mean, the more I think about this movie, I think I like it more overall. There are some story things that I'm like, I think I'm personally not that captivated by the central problem as much at this point with like him breaking the canon. Because my feeling is always just that, even if he does, everything will work out. Like,
of course.
It's not like the multiverse is actually gonna blow up. So and that obviously, I think that kind of thinking helps us root for Miles, because otherwise Miles is really just an incredibly selfish person but obviously you understand why he's trying to save his dad.
Yeah, I mean, they can't. It would be impossible. Like, if you knew that your dad was gonna die, you wouldn't just be like, "Oh, well, if it's for the good of the multiverse, I'll just let it happen." Like, no, despite how, like, if you look at it from a logical perspective, it doesn't make sense. But from an emotional perspective, you get where he's coming from, and that's why a lot of people like sympathize with him and see his side a lot more. So, because Miguel he's very pragmatic. He's very logical. He doesn't work with his emotions too much, and the only times he does in the movie is when he's attacking Miles, and that doesn't end up well for him, so he's kind of justified in being the logical one. So,
I think Gwen is handled really well in this movie. I
agree.
Her intro is maybe my favorite part of the movie, honestly.
Oh yeah, I agree. Especially her theme is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I've been listening to that a lot this week. Actually, it's been really good. It's a great piece of music. The entire soundtrack is phenomenal, though.
It is.
It's even better than the first one.
Oh, I disagree with you. I gotta say, I think I like the first one overall.
Really?
Overall, yeah. I think.
I mean, the Prowler theme is still really good from that first soundtrack.
And I think it's just as good as the. What's kind of becoming a little bit of a meme and a little bit iconic is the new Miguel O'Hara theme as well.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think they're just as good as each other, and I think overall I enjoyed the music. I think I enjoyed the songs more. I think they were used more effectively. Personally, they're not the greatest songs ever, but I think they are designed to fit some of those scenes in the first movie so well.
Yeah.
I also think the first one delivered more like really emotionally compelling moments, and maybe it was also part of my theater experience, but I felt like there was more breathing room to really experience the catharsis and like peak emotions of some of the movie moments in the first movie, like Miles jumping off the building for the first time, like saying goodbye to everyone in the wake of it, facing off against Kingpin in that last moment with his dad watching. Like, those are very memorable finale moments to me that really stick out.
Yeah.
And that growth really leads to those moments very well. I don't think that's as strong in this movie. Obviously being that's a part one, that's, which should have probably been, I think, a bit clearer There was definitely, I don't know, I'm assuming you experienced this. There was a lot of people.
Oh, in the theater, a lot of people were like, "Ah!"
People were like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck?" Basically.
I mean, like I knew it already. Like, you know.
Yeah, I knew too.
It was pretty. I thought it was pretty clear. Like there was
clear.
a lot of interviews. There was a lot of interviews talking about that. But maybe like for the average movie going audience who doesn't pay attention to these channels, like it may have been a bit.
Needs part one on the movie poster to be like, oh, this is not going to be the full story.
Well, it's because the other one's called Beyond the Spider-Verse, right? So. Yeah, if they were both like named the same thing, and then like part 1 and part 2, that might have been a bit better, to be honest. But Beyond the Spider-Verse is a sick-ass title.
And you know those people are going to come back for the third one, though.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, because if they're that upset and they want to see the story continue, then they're going to come back.
I very much doubt anyone watches that ending and be like, "I should have had that in this movie. Why isn't it like 5 hours?" Because that's how long it would have had to be, frankly, too. Because we, like, Miles escapes, and I'm like, there's no way they're wrapping this up. I don't think I remembered it was a part 1 until that moment. I was like, oh, yeah, this is definitely just going to be... this is definitely a part 1. And I knew that. I think it's very impressive, though, that the movie overall immersed people so much. I think got people to care so much that you could see very emotional and, like, physical reactions from your crowd to be like, what the heck? Why isn't it done? I wanted more, kind of thing. And he always wants to leave them wanting more rather than them just, being overlong and bored. And that's one of this movie's strengths overall. It's a great blockbuster. It's entertaining and emotionally connecting in the ways that it should be. It looks great, which, not enough blockbusters do these days, but also it looks great in the way that some of the best art films do. And being that it's animation, it's obviously completely different, but they really do a great job with that.
Yeah. Also, what did you think of all the like actual human people cameos? I thought that was kind of cool. Like, it was nice seeing Andrew Garfield, like, and Tobey Maguire, even though it was archival footage, that was kind of cool. And then also seeing Donald Glover as the Prowler, like from the MCU, presumably. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Very fun stuff. Oh man, I do like that. No, man, maybe we'll see a live-action Prowler in the future at some point, even if it's just a small role. That would be nice. That would be really cool. Also,
Donald's a busy guy. I can't imagine he's going to do a full live-action Prowler.
Well, he might not. I'm not saying he should be like the main antagonist of a movie. Maybe just like a villain of the week type thing to set the story off for a future film.
Yeah, maybe.
Or a supporting role, whichever one.
I am a bit perplexed at just how much praise this has gotten. It's the #1 film on Letterboxd still, which to me is insane. About that. And like, people are talking about how it's so good, it needs the Best Picture nomination, and like all these things. And I'm honestly so like surprised that people are saying this about a part 1 thing, like something that's so clearly split in half. I think it's even more part 1 than something like Dune, because even this part 1 ends on a like big twist sort of reveal thing. Yeah. In Dune 1, there's no twist really. It's just a final fight, right? That final knife fight that paves the way for the second story. And people complained about that a lot. I honestly have more complaints about this. It felt very TV,
cliffhanger until the next season, you mean?
Felt very much like a TV cliffhanger, except the next episode isn't coming out next week, or even, literally the next second when you're binging something. It's probably not coming for, I gotta say, probably at least 1.5 years. I'm sorry, everybody. I know it has a March 29th, 2024 something release date. I'm sure it's probably going to be pushed to at least fall of that year, or if not, the next spring/summer.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, though, I don't mind waiting because I know... Because it was 5 years until we got the sequel to the first one, which is this. And it was well worth it. So I know that if we give them extra time to perfect it, it's going to be even better. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm holding out for. I don't think this creative team is going to drop the ball. I think they've done an excellent job with the first 2 installments so far, and I'm really excited to see what they're doing for the next one.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, just don't rush them. Give it time, because every time we've gotten rushed products, they've sucked lately, especially from Marvel. I know this is Sony and it's a different studio, but rushed products, like quality over quantity is what I'm really trying to get at. I don't mind waiting longer for something if I know it has a higher chance of being good because of that wait. So
and yeah, and
give the artist the time to finish their work properly.
Yeah, and also the fact of the matter is we're not going to get that unless the writer's strike ends for one.
Yeah.
So obviously, please keep supporting writers. They are the reason we have an industry. If we didn't have talented writers, we'd have basically nothing.
Exactly.
Very bare bones stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think I said pretty much all I want to say about this.
Well, I have one more thing I wanted to quickly mention. Like, the Lego Spider-Man section, right? I don't know if you heard about this. But there was a fan of the first movie. They got him to animate it because he makes those types of animations with his Lego figurines. And they got him in. He did like 2 weeks of work. I think he got paid for it. It was over his March. It was over his spring break or something like that. And he made a section that was in the movie. And I laughed out loud when I saw the Lego section because it really reminded me of the Lego movie, which Phil Lord and Christopher Miller directed, right? So
yeah,
it was kind of nice to see that. Yeah. I don't mind Lego Spider-Man. Also, it was nice to see. I don't know. Do you remember seeing the Spectacular Spider-Man as well?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was a nice cameo, though. That was cool. I enjoyed that.
The movie's also pretty funny. Like, there was moments where I was just really smiling or actually laughed out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are really good at that. They know how to.
They're excellent comedy writers. Yeah.
They're good at visual comedy a lot more than a lot of actual comedy directors, which I think is part of the reason, especially it seems like especially our generation, goes off a lot on visuals. So I think visual comedy ultimately is where we, I think visual comedy universally just works a lot more.
Oh yeah, like especially that whole Spider-Man point thing. Like it got spoiled in the trailer, and I still laughed my ass off when I saw that because like that was fucking.
I definitely.
It's just so stupid. I don't know. I laughed quite hard.
Yeah.
Because like I saw it in the trailer a few times, but I still laughed. It's fucking stupid.
That was one of my other complaints. Is that the trailer kind of reveals most things about the movie. Overall, I think it personally gave too much away, especially in the middle. It gives away the whole Miguel kind of thing, and you kind of know what's gonna happen. You know. I also thought my other thought when he was running away in that whole sequence is why he didn't try to steal another Spider-Man's watch. Yeah. Because I know there was a thing where it's like can deny it, but like they never really set the rules about who can use a watch and why. So in my mind I thought, why can't he just try to steal someone's and then go back and like try to hide and then click? Because he's able to hide for a while to have that whole conversations with Peter B. Parker, but. He could have especially stolen his or stolen Gwen's. That would have, made a lot more sense to me. That could have potentially created some interesting ideas. I don't know if they ever played with that idea in the writer's room. I feel like they probably would have, but... And I think this is an interesting setup overall, but, like, it feels a bit forced overall. And yeah, like I said, I think the trailers, like... for so long I didn't think the Spot was going to be the main villain. It's kind of revealed that he will be the main villain in this whole thing. But I thought it was going to be Miguel. So the whole... It's not like they're trying to hide the fact that Miguel's a villain, really. It's not like he's a twist villain, even though it's literally in the trailer that he's going to attack him. And the reveal of the reason, again, wasn't that impactful. Like, I'm not a huge fan of this canon sort of thing.
Yeah. But, I mean, to be honest though, I didn't have that same experience as you because I mean I hadn't watched the trailer in almost 2 months I think, so I was kind of fuzzy on the details of it. I only really remember the Spider-Man pointing thing from the trailer. I didn't really remember everything else. So like when I went in there, I was like, I think I had a bit of a better experience than somebody else may have. So
maybe that should just be a lesson to me. I kind of watched the trailers because I thought Phil Lord, Christopher Miller wouldn't give away everything. But still a big Sony blockbuster Marvel thing. So
yes, Sony likes to... Actually, not even just Sony. A lot of movie
Sony does.
Yeah,
I
but it's
think.
not even just something though. Like a lot of movie trailers, they like to show too much of the movie because
Mhm.
there's this whole philosophy like you should see exactly what you're paying for, and I'm like, no, that's dumb because like I don't want to see everything before I go watch it because then what's the point? I'll
I
just
think
wait
I
for it to
might
come
have
out
the
on
same
streaming.
complaint about the Barbie movie at this point. I'm realizing, so I'm gonna stop watching those trailers, even though they're great.
Yeah, me too. No more. Yeah, no the first and the second one, that's all I need. I don't need any more trailers. We're good.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
newest one was really good. I laughed. So
yeah.
I'm just gonna not watch the trailers anymore. Well, I mean, I was always gonna watch this movie. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'll be
Um,
listening to the soundtrack as it's slowly released. I mean, I don't know if you checked that out yet. It's very
I
girly pop.
I listened to the Dua Lipa song. I don't know. I'm not a huge Dua Lipa
Oh,
fan, but
yeah, that's okay.
I
I
watched the
liked it.
video.
Yeah, the video was cool.
Yeah, but yeah, and I also haven't seen any of the Oppenheimer trailers. I don't plan to really watch any of them. But then again, it's not like a story you can
I've seen the
spoil.
one.
Everyone knows he invents the
Yeah,
nuclear bomb.
yeah, that is true. I mean, I've only seen so I saw the teaser trailer because I went to go see Nope and it was playing before that, and then I
Okay.
saw the first real trailer before I saw what movie was it? I think it was before I saw Fast X. Yeah, that's where it was
Okay.
playing. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. After that, I'm not. If there's anything else that's released, I'm not going to watch it. I don't have an interest because yeah, no. As the year gets close to the release date, you always get these like trailer 2, trailer 3s, and they show way too much, and I don't want that. So
Yeah.
let's just chill a bit.
Yeah.
Teaser trailer, one regular movie trailer, marketing outside of that, like maybe a couple TV spots here and there, just recycling stuff from the first trailer, and then advertisements, like physical advertisements that don't move. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
That way, and then I don't know, maybe do some viral marketing. Like, buddy, fucking Christopher Nolan did a great job with that for The Dark Knight. With all those like, all the clips about like Harvey Dent's campaign, and then like interviewing citizens of Gotham on GCN. I thought that was really good. Like, why not do something like that? That'd be a good way to market it.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I'm not a movie marketing expert. I just thought it might be better because I'm sick of having movies spoiled. Like, I don't know if do you remember Terminator Genesis back in 2015? They spoiled the main twist of the movie in the trailer.
No.
So it was revealed in that movie that John Connor got turned into a Terminator, and they showed that in the trailer.
Huh.
Like, that's the defining twist of the movie, and they just spoil it in the fucking promotional material. It's nuts. I don't understand why the fuck they did that. But anyways, doesn't matter. I didn't go to the theaters to see it. I watched it on Netflix like pretty much everybody else these days.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a cop out where when Miles is escaping, just because
Yeah.
of literally one interaction between him and Spider Bite, which was like sort of flirting, which is a little weird considering
Yeah.
I thought the romance was supposed to be building up between Gwen and Miles,
Yeah.
but she just lets him go.
I mean, I don't know if it was romantic. I feel like that a lot of the Spider people were kind of starting to see that, Miles might have a bit of a point, and Miguel is kind of being a bit too harsh.
I guess.
Because Miguel's kind of treating him like Miles knew what he was doing when he accidentally broke the multiverse. Like, it wasn't his fault. It happened by chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then if it happened by chance, then was it? And how did he disrupt the canon? Because like he just went down there to do something that he normally does, which is graffiti on
That's true.
all these fucking caves, and like then he heard the commotion. So like,
Kingpin is the one who broke the canon by letting the spider in
yeah,
by using the collider.
yeah,
But anyway, it's still like they could have just done it where they couldn't, it's faster. But of course they had to draw that moment out. But then when they send Gwen away, it's happened so much faster. But that's, I usually let that stuff slide. It's cinematic time manipulation.
yeah,
Unless it's imperative to the story, which it was a little bit. Not as much as something like, I guess, like Inception. But, it it works for what it is
yeah.
overall.
I get you. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say about this, or do you
No,
think we're
I am
good?
curious to hear your rating real quick, though.
Okay. You know what? I don't want to give it a 10 because obviously I think that if it was one contained story, I would have given it a 10. like just based off that, but just because of the cliffhanger. I'm not saying it's a bad cliffhanger because it is building excitement for the next one. I'm fine with that, so I'd probably give it like a 9. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
There we go. Well, pretty similar scores. I mean,
similar,
I'm not upset about that score from you. Fair enough.
Yeah, like the story is kind of a 7, even a 6, but the animation and the comedy bring it up to like an 8. So very cool movie. I saw it in IMAX, so that was obviously really cool to
nice.
see it on that kind of scale.
Nice.
Great work. I'm glad we're getting animated movies like this, and we'll continue to. I'm glad that having this whole Spider-Man, having this brand is actually giving, Lord and Miller, like they did with the Lego movie, the ability to actually make creative jokes and, creative visuals with it instead of just doing what, it seems like most other remakes and IP stuff do is just what they did before. I'm glad they're innovating both a little bit in the story but mainly in the visuals and the comedy.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. I can't wait to see the next one, like I've been saying, and even though maybe that's going to be a little bit longer than I hoped, it's okay. It'll be a good treat to end university, probably. I mean, because if it comes out in 2025, then yeah, I'll already be done university by then. But yeah, and I mean, yeah, so will you. Holy shit, we're getting old, bro. Isn't that weird? Dude, wait, didn't we start this when we were like 17?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was just about to turn 18, and then you were either freshly 17 or you were about to turn 17. I can't quite remember.
Probably when I was about to turn 17, I think.
Okay, yeah. Crazy, man. Fuck. Well, yeah. Well, if you've been sticking with us for that long, then I mean, you're getting old too. It's coming. True. Menopause for women, hair loss for us guys. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that's a.
You might have to cut that out.
That's a bit farther in the future.
Don't put that in there. Oh my god! What the fuck? All right. Well, should we take a quick look at the Metacritic thing before we sign off?
Yeah, and I guess quickly discuss what we might do next.
Yes. What movies are coming out this Friday?
The Flash and Elemental.
I don't really want to go see Elemental. I kind of want to go see The Flash, but what are the reviews looking like so far?
They're okay.
Yeah, I heard that that's what they were. I just wasn't sure what the exact one was. Let's say 71% after 118 reviews. Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's like around where Aquaman was, and I kind of liked Aquaman, so yeah.
Alright. Let's see where we are. We still haven't finished... Oh, did I ever get the... We still haven't finished the other one because Secret Invasion still hasn't come out, but comes out on the 21st. I should actually double check because White House Plumbers did come out and no one saw it. That's an HBO show no one saw.
I'm not exactly surprised by that.
It did very 62. Okay, very mediocre.
Yeah, those mediocre HBO shows, they get like immediately forgotten about.
All right, well, here it is. I have been somewhat updating it. Past Lives was at a 95. It drops a little bit because it got its wider release. It's at 93 now. Barbie obviously still not out. Joyride had its South by Southwest premiere, so it's going to stay with that for now. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, good pick from me.
Yep.
86. Asteroid
Same as the first one.
City.
Very good.
Should have more reviews now, I think, because I actually watched it as a part of a press screening.
Wait, you got into a press screening?
I did. It's the site I write for. They've made like,
Wait, you write for a site?
Yeah. Have I not told you this? I feel like
I know you haven't told me. What the fuck? You're actually a professional critic now.
Who doesn't get paid, but yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, but, hey, dude, you still got to go to press screen. That's fucking. Yeah, I'm happy for you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's cool. This is the
Good on
site,
ya.
by the way. So that was my past lives review. Very good, good movie. I
Yeah.
am so far the biggest hater, but I still think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So basically, every other, most other people say it's like one of the best of the year or the best of the year. So
Oh yeah. All right.
oh, did you see the Bottoms trailer?
No, I haven't, but I heard. I've kind of heard a little bit about it. It seems kind of like a funny idea. I like the sound of it. I'll probably watch it. I think. It's got a good review so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only after 6 though, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the South by Southwest reviews.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good score for now. I'll probably still watch it. I think.
Flash
I'm not
ended
too-
with a 60, better than the 53 I had at it before. Still banking on a high score for. I need Gran Turismo to have like an 80, which is
Yeah.
I think You Should Leave did pretty well.
Yeah.
As it usually
I mean,
does. Not as good as.
to be fair though, Gran Turismo has Neil Blomkamp. I mean, it could actually. There is a possibility that it could be good. Like it could be his return to form because he hasn't really done anything critically acclaimed since District 9, unfortunately.
It is hard
But-
for me though to imagine a Gran Turismo movie having a 80 on Metacritic.
No, maybe I don't think it will be an 80, but it could be maybe in the high 60s, lower 70s.
I'm
It's
hoping
possible.
for 70s. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Bear season 2 comes out later this month. Same with I Am a Virgo, both on about the same day. Those are both pretty anticipated TV shows for me. I'm looking forward to those.
Nice.
That's I Am a Virgo's from the guy who did Sorry to Bother You, which if you
Oh,
recall
yeah.
we talked about.
Boots
in the podcast.
Riley. Yeah, I remember fucking hell, Jesus.
He's a wild guy,
Equisapien.
bro, but
Those
he
Equisapiens
kind
are
of speaks
bloody-
the truth though. The guy,
Does he?
I'd say so.
There's a race of subterranean horsemen out there.
It's a metaphor.
Well, oh yeah, true. Because workhorses for society or something. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I mean, if that were, I kind of wish that were the
The
case.
Idol sits
Never
at
mind.
a big old 27.
User score is relatively high though.
Yeah, that's on 5 ratings.
Oh, 5 ratings. Okay, never mind.
What does this guy say? Damn, all actor and actress deeply immersed in their roles. Anyway, congrats on your debut as an actress, Jenny. Oh, it's just a freaking K-pop stand. Okay.
Oh my god.
And I guess the other people who rated it didn't leave reviews.
Oh my god, when one of your only positive reviews is a K-pop stand, I think you're in trouble, man.
Yeah, a little
That-
bit.
Nothing against K-pop as a genre, but my god, some of the fans are insufferable, to be honest.
It comes close to some profound insight into our times.
The Independent?
The
Oh
Independent.
my god. It's a pretty well-respected newspaper. Why not?
I'm like, just curious what they've given other stuff. Oh, this is just the. Of course they can't. That's just the TV critic. TV critics are also usually weirder. Like they're different
Yeah.
overall.
I mean, that must be
Someone
tricky,
gave
though.
it a
'cause
0. ABC
Whoa,
News gave it a 0.
Peter Travers, holy
Yo.
shit. Wait,
That's crazy.
that is insane.
That's wild.
That explains why
I
it's so
forgot you
low
could
then.
do. I forgot you could do that. Honestly.
I've never even seen a 0 on here before.
There
That's
are 0. You can do it. I've seen it before. He's given Beef season 1 and 100. That's okay. I like Beef. I wouldn't give it a 100 though. He also gave Succession 100.
I haven't seen Beef yet. Is it worth watching?
Yeah, I definitely. I really enjoyed it. I would.
Well, I do like me some Steven Yeun, and I always like Ali Wong.
I always
I think
love
she's
me
funny.
some Steven Yeun. I'm the Steven Yeun guy. I'm trying to
Yeah.
become a Steven Yeun guy on the internet.
Actually, someone made a comment the other day that I thought was kind of funny. Somebody said that Ali Wong is like Asian Angela Bassett. I don't know what you think about that, but she kind of
That's
does
a
give off
weird
the same
take.
energy.
Why?
Just the
I don't-
energy.
I don't know if I've seen Angela Bassett in
Yeah.
enough stuff, maybe, to say that. Or maybe I just haven't seen both of them. I haven't seen enough stuff to see where that comparison's coming
Okay.
from, honestly. Because
Yeah.
when you say that, I don't get it.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was kind of confused a bit at first, but I don't know. Maybe they're just thinking about the vibes or something. That's it. That's the only thing I can really think of. But yeah, I might have to watch some more projects too from both of them to see
So
as
on
well.
your side, Oppenheimer
Still hasn't come on yet.
still
Yeah.
doesn't come out. Blackberry, I think,
Same.
will sit permanently at an 80 now. Yeah, still at 80. So
Yeah.
it's a good pick from you. Very good
Yes.
movie, Blackberry. You should still.
Still need to fucking see
It's
that.
on
I need to
digital
find a
now,
good time.
so you
It's on
can.
digital. Okay. All right. Well, I will stream it then.
And I did see it for the first time at home, and it's
Yeah.
just as good. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1
Still hasn't come
still
out.
needs to come out. You got a pretty good pick here, and you hurt my feelings. It only went up, actually, after you
Yeah?
picked it. It's at an 82, and I think it will stay there.
Okay.
Elemental.
Elemental though, that was my mistake. But to be honest though, I had more faith in Pixar.
Not
than
that bad, though, all things
Yeah.
considered. It's going to show up if I look it up. Yeah, 55. Not terrible, not great, but
Yeah.
pretty
That's okay.
okay. Transformers.
Yeah, that
Your
kind of
last
tanked my
picks.
score a bit. It's 42 now. It's
42.
right there. Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. Oh, actually, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not wiping the floor with you. I think you're actually beating me. Shit. Oh,
Talk
my
to
God.
Me at a 72.
Yeah, that one's okay.
It'll probably change when it comes out. I think Guardians should be done at a 64, unless someone decided to be weird. 64, yeah, so it'll stay there. The Great Season 3, I think, stayed at that. That was a good pick. I don't think it had too many reviews, honestly. I don't even know where to watch it in Canada. That's the problem. It's been on Amazon Prime, and the third season still hasn't been there, so I'm probably just going to pirate it eventually, if I'm being completely honest. But, you didn't hear that here, though.
Jeez, why is the Metacritic search so awful?
It can be. Well, when you say something as general as The Great, it usually doesn't work out.
Oh my God.
But still an 87. Only has 6 critic reviews, but, that still counts. So,
Yes, it does.
American-born Chinese, I think, stayed at about the same. Me and my brother watched the first episode, and we still haven't watched any more of it. I don't know if we're going to get through it. 73. And then Never Have I Ever Season 4 had its final season. I don't think it's as good as the other seasons, but still okay. Let's look at Season 4. 77. So, pretty good.
Not bad. I'll take that. My TV's definitely doing better than my movies at the moment.
Yeah. So, yeah. That is... It's gonna
I'm really hoping Disney doesn't fuck up Ahsoka. Otherwise, I think that might be the end of it. To be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do have a big old 30. Or is that... No, it's a 27 now, isn't it? I got that wrong.
Yeah.
It's 27. Yeah. That's crazy. Easily the worst pick we've had between the two of us.
Yeah.
Nothing else is tanked that badly. Yeah, big old 27. But, yeah, I don't know. I really don't think it's that bad. I think to some extent the critics are virtue signaling. It's not great. I can understand why people don't think it's great or good even.
Yeah.
Or like bad. But like I personally would think a reasonable score would be something closer to a 40, even high 30s, but
yeah.
Below a 30 is just brutal. Honestly.
Yeah.
Makes it sound unwatchable. Which it's not.
Oh, you actually tried watching it?
I did.
What the hell? Oh my God.
I did. And so I had opinions about it. Like, there is something to it besides, like, the sex and the stuff, which is, like, not completely necessary, but it just is there.
Of course. Alrighty.
Alright.
So,
well,
what are we going to do for next time?
I want to talk about Blackberry, so I really hope you can see that.
Let's see. I'll make time to watch Blackberry. We'll watch it.
This is what else I've watched recently. I think you should check out Are You There, God's Me, Margaret? It's my second
Is it worth it?
movie of the year.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And if you should see Asteroid City. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I might see it again. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh my God, there's way too many cool movies coming out. Jesus.
Yeah, but...
So
So I'll definitely do Blackberry, and then either Asteroid City or Are You There, God's Me Margaret, maybe, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
Or Past Lives, actually. One of those three. I hope you can see. Even though Past Lives is a bit harder to track down, it's only at the Lightbox right now.
Yeah.
Empress Walk in Toronto, and then Varsity Cineplex in Toronto. So not too many places right now, but
not too many places. But yeah, that's okay. I'll figure it out. It does
expand, I think, later in June, so maybe.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright, well, cool. Blackberry it is then next time. I don't know when we're going to get to do that. We'll find a good time, though, preferably in the next week or so.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Dead Film Critic Society podcast, and we'll see you guys later. See ya.
See you later. Bye-bye.